The following video is sponsored by Dreame. Hi everyone, Chris here, and this is Dreame's latest robot vacuum cleaner called the Dreame Bot X30 Ultra. It's got a lot of new features that I'll be covering in this video. I'll run through what you can expect with the new model, what it does, how it cleans, some cleaning tests of course. So the features that it does have now, well, we've got an increase in suction performance. It's 8,300 PA. It's their Vormax, they call it, suction performance there. So better for carpets, can lift up more dirt. It has a floating rubber style brush, but you can get an optional extra. Sadly, I don't have it at the time of making this video, which is their tri-cut brush. And this is going to cut hairs in the brush to stop them getting tangled up in it, which of course is the arch nemesis of any robot vacuum cleaner, is long hair that gets tangled up in the brushes. But finally, we've got a solution for that. LiDAR navigation too with their Pathfinder. We've got obstacle avoidance with its front-facing RGB camera. So that's AI and structured 3D light obstacle avoidance. It can recognize over 70 different objects there, detect them and go around them. I'll be testing that out in this video, but a bit of a spoiler. It is excellent, one of the best I have seen. And our mops. So we've got mops that scrub the floor, but it's a little different, this system here, because we've got their Mop Extend 3.0. What this does is with a robotic arm, it extends out the mop. So with the sensors, it can get right up with its edge detection and clean into those areas where other robot vacuums simply cannot. So you're looking at cabinets that are on the floor, can get under them a little bit, right up against table legs and chair legs and everything. So it's much better at mopping there. And when it cleans those mops in its auto empty all-in-one solution right here, it cleans them at 60 degrees Celsius. So that's better to wash them out, give them a really good clean. And it's also a auto cleaning station too as well. It's got some little sweepers in there that clean up the mop cleaning area to make sure that there's going to be no dirt in there, that it's going to suck up everything and it will dry those mops out too as well. So with that combination, that means there's no mildew, no smells. You're not going to have any of those common problems that you sometimes get with the earlier generation of mopping robot vacuum cleaners. We have carpet detection mode 2 with this. It can also detect short pile and high pile carpet, so it can leave the mops behind for the high pile carpets, leave them in the station and do its normal vacuum, or short pile carpets, it can actually raise up those mops 10.5 millimeters, which is a great feature to have, especially the removable detachable mops without you having to manually do it. And then it can empty out, of course, the internal dustbin, which is 350 milliliters into a 3.2 liter removable dust bag here. And that can house up to 75 days. We've got our clean water tank, which is extra large with this model. It's huge. It's 4.5 liters, the largest I have seen, and a dirty water tank of 4 liters. Included with our X30 Ultra, this is what you'll find. Our 2 mops. Now the mops here are microfiber and they are attached in place with Velcro, the cleaning tool, cleaning solution, power cable. Then you'll find a warranty card, quick start guide, user manual, and a spare dustbin. One is already pre-installed in the docking station. This is where it will suck out the internal contents of the robot vacuum's dustbin, and this is using their Dual Boost 2.0, so it's coming in both directions, emptying out that dustbin into a 3.2 liter bag within the auto empty station, and you can very easily empty out the internal dustbin. You simply just need to lift this up like so. There's a tab here, pull on that, and the whole thing comes out. Now to empty it, this is simple too. There's just this little tab here. Pull on that and you can empty that out into a rubbish bin. And we have a replaceable washable filter here, which is 2-stage. So you've got the washable filter here, the first stage of filtration, which is a very fine plastic mesh. And this is a first for robot vacuums to have the self-cleaning feature. So there are little sweepers in here, and what they do is they sweep away all that muck inside there, so there's no build-up, there's no horrible smells there either. And of course, it's going to be drying, as mentioned, those mops there too. It can leave the mops behind in this area when you select that carpet mode to leave them behind if it's a high pile carpet. And it is very easy to remove this too if later on you want to go and give that all a good clean out. But being self-cleaning, you won't really have to do this. The drain is right here at the end, and this is where it's going to fill up again. So it's got a lot, and of course the auto empty function too. Removing the 3.2 litre dust bag is not difficult at all. So just pull on the tab here. This whole cover comes right off. You can see here, this is our little container for the washing solution. So very easy to add that and then put it back in there. There's a little pump inside there and it will distribute that solution when it's cleaning those mops. So the dust bag, to remove it, which is by the way self-sealing, simply need to pull on the tab here and it comes out. It's sealed off, and then throw that 3.2 litre bag in the rubbish bin. And as I mentioned a few times, up to 75 days, which is really good. And this is our application. So it is called Dreame Home, and you can get this for Android, which I'm currently using, and of course, Apple to iOS. You get notifications that do come through. It'll let you know if it needs more water, or your wastewater needs to be emptied, or the dustbin's full, whatnot. It will tell you those things when it finishes cleaning. So you can see this is the map, and that's very accurate here because it is using LiDAR, so very good. And the last little test I did, which was the obstacle avoidance, you can see where it found all the little obstacles and things. You can see it's listed in there with the icon to what it is. So USB cables, shoe, whatnot, all of it is there. So the layout is pretty simple. There's a lot of settings in here that could, at the beginning, be a little bit overwhelming. But you've got your map here. You can display it with the furniture icons and whatnot too. You can edit these maps, rotate them. You can view them in 3D too as well. So you can see where the bed is, whatnot. It is going to show all of that. You can add no-go zones where you don't want it to go over the carpet, whatnot. All of that can be changed. So you've got there Clean Genius, and it will tell you the different modes it does have. So you've got routine cleaning, which is balancing speed and performance there. Intensive and deep too. That's the deep cleaning mode. So that's going to really go over things and give it a real good clean. And you have your custom options here too as well. So you've got your cleaning settings, dock settings too as well. A lot in here. The washing modes, auto wash, dry, empty. You have then custom settings for when you want it to mop and vacuum at the same time, just vacuum, just mop, or mop after it does vacuum. You've got the different power levels, of course, max being that 8,300 PA. The wetness of the mop can be adjusted. And you have the route there, the route. So you can either have the route being quick or standard, and when you want it to wash those mops. Okay, so you've got area, time, or by room. And it does have the mode where it will sense where it is dirtier, go back and mop again. So there's just so much in here. The camera too, this is where you can log into that live preview. You enter in your activation code, you can then see that. Now, how is it then for just your daily cleaning? It is very good. You've got so many options, as I just showed you with the application. It really is a little bit overwhelming to begin with, but once you get used to it, it's great to set it up. So when you first have it, setup is great, easy. You just need to scan a QR code in the application, get it paired up, firmware update, away you go. It does a quick map first, maps out your house, really accurate with the Pathfinder laser navigation, and then it goes around the edges first. Now, if you have the Mop Extend 3.0 mode enabled, then it's going to stick that mop out, get in really close. And I've been really impressed with this, how it can get into areas like right-hand corners, around table, chairs, and legs where simply other robot vacuums cannot. So it is very good. And the floors have been looking great with this, just continually cleaning them and keeping them at their best. Just once a day, I do a mop and a vacuum, which is really good. So it has no problems going under beds, areas, and we've got, of course, the carpet detection mode, so it can either raise those mops up or leave them behind if it's a high-piled carpet in our dock here, which is fantastic. So many other models can't actually do this at all. So the cleaning performance of that mopping, my standard test here I do, it's a teaspoon of coffee and dirt mixed together, placed on 2 tiles, smeared around, left to dry. Unrealistic, I know, but it's a way of just testing out how good does it actually mop. So as you can see, this is sped up to this footage, by the way. The first pass, excellent, really good. Went over and got almost everything, but there's a little kind of bit left I can see. And then the second pass, because I always give them 2, goes in the other direction, very thorough, and gets everything. So those 3 little dark specks you can see, they're actually chips in the tile, so there's no way it's going to be able to get rid of that, unfortunately, but excellent mopping performance. So the mops you can see now, they are really a bit dirty, right? From not just the coffee cleanup now, but from the house that I've been cleaning before. Let's have a look and see what it's like then to clean it in our docking station, where it's going to go in and wash them at 60 degrees. So it does take a few minutes to scrub and clean them out, but you can see the results now. Looking at these mops in the sun, you can see no traces really of that coffee at all. Very good clean, thanks to the hot water, which is doing a much better job. Then on to our obstacle avoidance. This is one area that for me, Dreame has been just class leading when it comes to robot vacuum cleaners. And I wasn't surprised to see that it passed my test with flying colors. I can confirm that it didn't touch any of my obstacles as it went around. This is, by the way, again, sped up footage. So it went around the wireless USB cable, watch charger, the power supply and cable, shoe, child's toy, and yes, a fake dog or cat poo there. It didn't touch it at all, which thankfully is the last thing you want. If that was a real one, it could be a nightmare kind of situation, but it detected it. And even in the application, you can see it labels and detects all of those different obstacles, because it can detect up to 70 plus different ones with its 3D structured light and AI that it's using. So fantastic obstacle avoidance performance there. I think it is really one of the best out there, Dreame. And then the vacuuming performance with our Vormax 8300 PA suction performance. Again, a fixed test here with cornflakes, rice, and some hair and a little bit of cat fur and things, and some dust that I did lay out. So first pass, again, I'll give it the 2 passes here. Pretty good job, but left behind just a couple of little bits and pieces. And then it zigzags and goes back in the other direction. So very thorough. This is a deep clean, and I set it, of course, to the maximum performance mode. It got pretty much everything, but the Achilles heel and the downfall of the floating rubber style brushes without the bristles is they struggle with carpets to lift up long hair. And I could see there was a strand or 2 left behind on this mat here. So that's the common problem with that style of brush. Then after it's done all of its cleaning, it goes back into our dock here and will empty out the internal 350 milliliter dustbin. So here you can see it's completely full, right? You can see all the cornflakes, the rice, and all the dust that's collected on all of my vacuuming tests, not just that fixed test I did before. Now it's going to proceed to then empty it into the 3.2 liter dust bag here. And let's have a listen to what it sounds like. It is a little loud. It's basically like just turning on a normal vacuum cleaner to empty it.
Start auto empty.
And you can see here that the results are great, that it proceeded to empty all of the contents, no blockage, no problems at all in emptying that out. They're just some very, very fine dust particles that were left behind inside that internal dustbin. So it really is the most advanced robot vacuum cleaner that I've seen, with its all-in-one auto care and maintenance. So you don't have to worry about cleaning out the base here with all that mucky, dirty water, getting smelly and whatnot. It's going to dry those mops out. It can detach them. AI obstacle avoidance, I think, is class leading. Glad to see that it didn't get anywhere near any of those obstacles. Wasn't a problem. Detected all of them fine. That was a 100% pass. So you can log into that camera, of course, RGB. Here's a very quick sample of what it does look like. And this is great if you want to do a little security check of your house. You can have 2-way communications as well. And it does need a password, a passcode that you set up via the application before you can log in. Just as an added another level of protection there, which is great. The Vormax 8300 PA suction performance, that's another thing that is really great. And we do have a 6400 milliamp hour battery. So that's one of the largest I've seen. And speaking of large, the water tanks, 4.5 liters of clean water, 4 liters of wastewater. And when you empty that wastewater out, you see the results there that it's brown. It's certainly doing its job, keeping those floors cleaner. Mapping is fantastic too. It's really fast and quick, and the application's just got so many settings in there. There's a lot. It's a little overwhelming in the beginning, but it's great to have all of those various different options. So there we go. That is, I hope, all you really need to know about the Dreame Bot X30 Ultra. Thanks a lot for watching this video.